Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I have some wonderful immigration news to share with you. And this has to do with employment authorization documents and green cards getting approved without an interview. So this is wonderful news. I'm going to talk all about it in today's video, so make sure to stick around. Hi everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Michael Ashoori and I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer based in Los Angeles, California. At my law firm, we regularly post videos to keep you up to date with the latest immigration news and to provide you with helpful immigration tips. So as I mentioned in today's video, I have some wonderful news to share with you. And this is news based on my own personal observations in my practice. So this is not something that's necessarily been announced by USCIS or anything that's official. This is just me sharing some experiences that I'm seeing in my own immigration practice with my clients. So again, as I mentioned, there's updates that I want to share with you. One is concerning employment authorization documents, EADs, which are those employment cards that give somebody that's applied for a green card through an adjustment of status, it gives them their employment authorization to go out and work. And the other update is regarding green cards getting approved without an interview. So going to the first point, employment authorization documents. For the last few months, we've been seeing employment authorization documents, these EAD cards, get issued very quickly. So just to give you a sense of what we're seeing, from the time that we submit the application for the adjustment of status, within about 7 to 10 days, the client will get their receipt notice from USCIS, which is the receipt that USCIS is confirming that they have received the application. And very shortly after that, the client is getting their biometrics appointment notice. The biometrics appointment notice is the notice for the client to attend their biometrics appointment, where they get their digital fingerprints taken, etc. Now, here's what we're seeing. Once the client attends their biometrics appointment, we've seen this in multiple cases where the very next day, they will get a notice that their application for employment authorization, their form I-765, has been approved. And USCIS is essentially notifying them and notifying us that they are going to be issuing the EAD card. And within a short period of time, the employment authorization card is arriving in the mail. So we've seen this on multiple cases where the employment authorization document is getting issued within about a month from when we are filing the application for the adjustment of status along with the application for the employment authorization. This is wonderful news. In these various instances that we're observing, they're receiving their employment authorization very quickly, much quicker than we've seen in the past. And as you can see from what I'm telling you, we've seen that it's not just the employment authorization that's coming quickly, but the biometrics appointment is coming pretty quickly. And it just seems like we're seeing a conscious effort from USCIS to speed up these cases. Again, this isn't happening for every case and there's no official policy on this. Again, it's just what I'm observing. Now, again, that was the first thing that I wanted to share with you. The second piece of my experiences that I want to share with you is that we've now had multiple clients recently get their marriage-based green card approved without an interview. Now, normally when somebody applies for a marriage-based green card, right, where they're applying for a green card based on marriage to a US citizen, for example, the process requires them to submit documents, file a form I-130, which is the immigrant petition, and to file an application for an adjustment of status if the applicant is within the United States. Now, typically as part of this process, there's an interview where the applicant has to go to a USCIS office and they attend an interview where an immigration officer will ask them various questions to make sure that everything checks out for their case. Again, as I mentioned, we've now had multiple clients that have had their cases approved without the need to attend an immigration interview. Now, something really interesting that I want to mention is that when I saw this happening, I wondered to myself, is there something interesting about this case that would cause USCIS to waive the interview requirement? Because the interview is generally a very important part of the process where the immigration officer can, again, make sure that everything is as it seems, to make sure that the marriage, for example, is a real bona fide marriage, that this isn't some sort of a fraudulent application. So I wondered to myself, was this interview waived because we submitted such a strong case where this couple had such strong documentation to prove that their marriage was real, that the immigration officer felt that there wasn't a need to interview them because it was so clear that the marriage was real? I was wondering, was that the case? But actually, for one of these cases where the case got approved without an interview, I noticed that based on my review of the documents, it wasn't so clear that there was such an abundance of documentation proving that the marriage was real that would overcome the need for an interview. So what I'm trying to say is that the case didn't seem like a case that was extraordinary, that would warrant a waiver of an immigration interview. So it seems like cases that have just a normal amount of documentation can potentially get their interview waived. Again, I know I've said this multiple times throughout this video. This is not an official policy. I'm just sharing my experiences, what I've seen in my practice. But ultimately, I think this is very positive news in terms of both of these updates. The updates regarding the EAD cards being produced quicker and some interviews getting waived. Now, again, it's possible that you may have an interview if you're applying for a marriage-based green card case through an adjustment of status, but just wanted to share this interesting observation with you. I hope you found this information helpful. If you know anybody that could benefit from this information, please feel free to share this video with them. At our firm, we're all about empowering you with knowledge. So the more people that can watch this video that can benefit from this information, the better. As always, thank you so much for sticking around and tuning into this video, and I will see you on the next one.